Hello, everybody. Today is Monday, May 18th. It's actually exactly 1 week before Memorial Day. Um, Fortunately, Memorial Day is probably going to be very different for most people. But anyway, it is the week before Memorial Day. So, here I have two alarms. To the left, I have the EST Genesis horn strobe, and to the right, I have the EST Genesis Chime. So I figured I'd do a little comparison video, kind of comparing and contrasting both of the alarms, and hopefully this will give you a better idea of what alarm you'd be most interested in if you want to purchase any EST Genesis device. So, starting off with the EST Genesis horn strobe, I got this alarm about 4 years ago. It used to actually be part of the system, so before I put up the Spectral Alert Advanced in the system test room, this is what alarm was on there previously. So, as you can see with this alarm, it's got the Running Man graphic up at the top. This is where the horn is, so that's like a speaker, the fire lettering, and the strobe. So on the back here, you'll notice with almost every EST alarm, they already come with screws permanently in the device. I don't really like that. There should be a way to take the screws out. Hopefully EST will eventually change this feature, but on almost every EST alarm you will see that there will be a screw all the way already in the device for you. So on the back, it's only a 2-terminal device. It's got this label right there. And on the side, if you were ever wondering where the Candela Selection is, it is right. It's in that little box on the left side of the device. So currently it is set on 15 Candela. And if you'd like to change it, you actually have to go into the actual alarm itself. So take off the cover, and there's a little switch that will change the Candela setting for you. So this alarm is extremely loud for being a device this small. It's actually smaller than an average cell phone. It's a very, very loud alarm. So if you're looking for a loud, high-pitched alarm, this is definitely something that you should consider getting. The good thing about EST alarms is that when they're on the wall, they're not as noticeable as like a True Alert or what other one off the top of my head. There's so many big fire alarms that they're just like they're clearly, you can see them on the wall, but this is a little bit unnoticeable, so that's a good thing about EST alarms. Now moving on to the EST Genesis Chime, I got this alarm 3 years ago. As you can see, it's very similar to the EST Genesis horn strobe. They have some similarities. They're exactly the same exact size. Now I don't know if it's just the lighting or not, but it actually looks like the not the system sensor, the EST Genesis Chime is slightly lighter in color than the EST Genesis horn strobe. And just a little note, you can get these alarms are available in white and red. So, a lot of people will choose white if they have a white wall. It blends in with the wall, so that's why a lot of people would pick that. Honestly, color doesn't really matter as long as it does the job. So, now the chime is a lot quieter than the horn strobe. You don't need like a piece of tape over it to reduce the sound, because it's not very loud. It will most likely be used in a hospital or a nursing home, some area where people won't want a loud, obnoxious noise. So It's a lot calmer of an alarm. I don't think it sends as much panic to the surrounding occupants around in the building. So that's the positive thing about that. Only difference is that it doesn't have a strobe. However, you can get an EST Genesis chime with a strobe. It's more expensive, but this one, on the other hand, does not have a strobe. It's got the Running Man graphic on there. If we flip it, it actually looks extremely similar to the EST Genesis horn strobe. A little bit of difference with the label here. You can actually see you can tell what type of alarm this is because it says multi-Candela horn strobe, and then on the top of this one it says that it's a chime. So that's how you can tell the difference. Again, they got the permanently put in screws, so fortunately that's just the way it is. And if you look, there is no Candela Selection because, as I've mentioned in the past, there's no strobe, so no point in putting a Candela Selection. However, I think there is a sound setting, high volume, low volume, and medium volume, high volume, and low volume. So that's that. And then on the back here, this is where you can open up the alarm. Same for this alarm as well. So, yeah, I mean, for this, the other difference with this is that it is set to continuous, but it's not like continuous, like it's actually continued. It doesn't do code 3. It just continuously makes this beeping sound. So, we're not going to test them today because I don't know where my adapter is, and it's pretty quiet in the house right now, so I don't want to disturb the peace. But if I were to recommend an alarm for you, if you have kind of like a hospital environment where you don't want loud noises or you don't like a startling sound, highly recommend the EST Genesis chime. If you kind of want to alert people in like a highly populated building, then I'd highly suggest the EST Genesis horn strobe. Again, it kind of depends on the crowd, how many people are in your building. But if you want kind of a less loud alarm approach, I would go with the EST Genesis chime. And if you want kind of a louder, more noticeable alarm, I'd go with the EST Genesis horn strobe. So these alarms do have a lot of similarities and a lot of differences, but they're both really good alarms. EST is a great company, and they make their alarms in really high quality. I've never had any issue with EST. So, hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure to subscribe and comment if you have any questions.